Alright, good morning students. Let's start our class for today. And today we are going to learn the chapter 10, which is communication and network concepts. We will finish all the non-programming parts first, and then we'll continue with the programming part. Okay, today we are going to learn network concepts. So I'll start, and if you have any questions during my lecture, please don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, you can ask me through chat or you can ask me through voice. You can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Okay, so first of all, let us talk about what is network. uh, Network or a computer network is a collection of interconnected autonomous computer or computing device so as to exchange information or share resources. This is the definition given by most of the textbook. As per this definition, if we connect computing devices, when we say computing devices, it doesn't mean that only computer. It may be mobile phones also, and it may be laptop, it may be tablet or whatever which can access the network. So when we connect each other, they form a network. Okay, this is the picture of a simple picture of a network, and there is a network which spread across the globe, even to International Space Station. Okay, so this is known as network. So in order to form a network, there are many things which involve that we are going to study. Here I give you a quick picture. For example, iPhone, laptop, computer, smartphone, Wi-Fi, workstation, switch, server, routers, modem. All these are the devices which are used in network. We are going to study all these things in detail in this chapter. And what is the goal for forming a network? Some of the goals are, the first one is resource sharing. All right. Uh, this is one of the most important goal. Uh, we are sharing resources. Okay, when we say resources, it may be printer, it may be scanner, it may be storage device, or it may be software applications. Okay, and not only that, resources may include files, videos, photos, etc. All these are under resources. And the second goal is reliability. When you connect two or more computers, they become much more reliable. For example, big companies are doing this in order to make them reliable. If they are hosting a website, or if they are storing things in one computer, if the hard disk goes bad or the hard disk burn out or something like that, they will lose everything. So they put a network on their server, and they are storing their files, etc., in many places. Okay, therefore it become much more reliable as compared to a single computer or a single system. Another thing is cost factor. Network reduce cost. For example, big companies, CEOs, president, vice president, when they are going to have meeting in those olden days, they have to travel to New York or Washington DC, and they are spending company rupees or company money for traveling. Usually they are traveling in business class. The flight ticket cost is high, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. So nowadays, because of this network, uh, we don't need to travel. They can set up a video meeting like we are currently having, and then they can discuss whatever they want. So they save money in ticket costs, something like that. So network help in reducing the cost. And another one is communication for all. Yes, network become a communication for everybody and nowadays. Here I listed out some of the important advantages in the forms of nodes. They facilitate resource sharing such as printers, scanners, storage software, etc. It enhances communication, and communicating with devices on the network become easier. And resource sharing cut on cost and therefore help in cost reduction. This is the repetition of what I have shared in the previous slide. Now let's go to the disadvantages. The network, although it is very useful and very convenient, there are some disadvantages, like when the network become more and more sophisticated, or they become complex, and they need a specialized person or a trained professional to look after the network. And services can become unstable and productivity if managed badly. Yes, this is true. If the network is managed badly, sometimes the network server is down and sometimes it is up, then means the productivity decreases. And because of virus, the network can because of network, I mean not virus, because of the network, virus can spread very fast to all the computer which connected the network. Okay, within a few minutes, a virus can infect thousands of computers which are connected to the network. Okay, these are some of the disadvantages which are mentioned in your textbook, and I hope it's clear. And now let's talk about the different types of network. We have local area network, which is known as LAN. We also have metropolitan area network, which is known as MAN. We have wide area network, which is WAN, and we also have personal area network. All right. So we are going to study all these things in details. I want you to remember the full form. Okay. When I say what is the full form of PAN in related to computer networks, it means personal area network, not permanent account number, which is in real life, right? PAN card or something like that. So let's study these things in details. The first one is local area network. So when we say local area network, it is a computer network local to a small building or even a big campus also. Usually the local area network can span up to 10 kilometers. Okay, up to 10 kilometers. In some textbook it is written 10 kilometers, but in some textbook it is written only 5 kilometers, but it doesn't matter. Okay, what you have to know is that when we say local area network, it means as it may be a single room, or it may be one school or something like that. Okay, so this is the computer network which spread to a small area, and the LAN can be one personal laptop, PC, mobile phone, tablet, etc. called personal area network. Here I'm explaining what is personal area network. In my home, I have laptop, I have mobile phones, I have modem, I have TV. All these are connected to the internet, and this network can be known as personal area network. All right. So it's much more it is much smaller than local area network. So a smaller form of local area network is known as personal area network. All right. Now let's go to metropolitan area network. When we say metropolitan area network, it spread over a city. For example, cable TVs are a good example of metropolitan area network. In Mizoram, we have, in Aizawl, let's say in Aizawl, we have LPS, which is local TV cable operator, which operate using computer network, and Zonet also. They are known as metropolitan area network, which is bigger than LAN, but smaller than wide area network. Alright, now we are going to study what is wide area network. Wide area network is a group of computers that separate by a large distance over a continent or over a country. So when we say WAN, we simply means it is the internet. It covers the whole world. Unlike LAN, which have a single owner, WAN is owned and managed by different organizations. Please stop drawing on my screen, okay? I may remove you if you draw it again. Those are the four types of networks if we separate using the physical distance. Okay, but network can be classified in different terms also, not based on physical distance. We can classify into different categories based on different criteria. So now let's talk about the evolution of computer network. Evolution When you say evolution of computer network, it started in USA in 1969 under the project called ARPANET, which is Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Okay, so under ARPANET, computer network started, and in 1980, National Science Foundation created NSFNet, which is more capable and having more capability, and network become more and more, let us say, more and more reliable and more popular. Okay, so in 1990s, many networks are evolved, and ARPANET was closed, and then NSF was also closed in 1995 because they are the founders and they are old, and because there are many other networks which are much better than those ARPANET and NSFNet, so they are closed down for various reasons. We can I can explain the history or evolution in details, but since your textbook did not give a detailed explanation about that, I think that much is enough. So please try to remember the full form. Okay, ARPANET means Advanced Research Project Agency Network for your exam. Now let's quickly compare about local area network and metropolitan area network. Local area network spreads over small area, and wide area network spreads over large area. And local area networks usually cost less amount of money to set up, but in order to set up MAN, it costs higher. And local area network is usually a single network, but metropolitan area network is usually a collection of many networks. All right, it is usually a collection of many networks. And so that LAN, MAN, WAN is a classification based on physical distance. We can also classify network based on component roles. Okay, component roles. Based on the component roles, a network can be two types. The first one is peer-to-peer networks. Peer-to-peer. When you say P2P network, there is no server. Okay, there is no server. Computer can be connected to another computer. They have equal, let us say, equal rights or something like that. So they do not have dedicated server. Okay, all the connected computers are equal. So this is known as P2P network. That means computer can play the role of client as well as the role of server. Okay, computer can play the role of client as well as the role of server. A computer can become a client as well as a computer can become a server. Okay, in peer-to-peer network. This is very common in uh, games. For example, in games, you are connected, uh, and you are playing with your friends. There is no person is having more power than another person. They are both of them are player. All of them are players. So that is known as peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer network. And another form is client to client and server network. In this network, there is a dedicated server that control and manage the entire network. All the computers known as client is dependent on the server. It is known as master-slave network. Okay, this is much more popular. Client and server is much more popular, and the server has the supreme authority. Okay, the server has the admin role, and all the computer connected to the server are only the client. Since these two terms are a little bit difficult, let me explain in Mizo for clarity. In short thiam nan Mizo trong in han soi lok ta ila ama sa kan soi MAN ti te local area network LAN kan ti te ho WAN te kha chu I ram an cover zau dan physical distance mga network then na anita a tu na chuan component role mangin kan chen vele ta ni component role a chuan P2P kan ti peer to peer network hi om ta a peer to peer network a chuan a thu ber po om lo admin zok po om lo kanin connect top ta mi pakhat khan admin ni na anei ko pa chuan client ni na po kha anei kop tho ni khatiang khan khatiang chi kha peer to peer network ani a game sharing vele thil download vele hian hetiang hi kan mang thin torrent in short karinga torrent a chuan peer to peer network ani a server a control to big hi om lo ta chuan website vela ve thung chuan client server network kan mang ta Facebook tun lai lar po kan ria Facebook te po hi a server chu Facebook server ni a amang tu zong zong chu client kan ni vek ta ni Facebook thu nuaya om vek kan ni kan du chu an du chuan Facebook te khan kan thalak te pon min paisak vek thei kan vat kan thu ani lo chuan kan account te po khan delete thei chu wang chuan chu tiang chu client server network anti ani khovel han client server network hi atam zo kani a hetiang hi common zo kani a P2P po hi thilom tho ani ti kha in shedonia. I hope it's clear. In shetiam zelem in shetiam lo eng mo in nei le min zo don nia zo na kha zo she lo turani. You can ask me any questions if you want. All right. Um, Now let's quickly study what are the different network terms used in computer network. The first one is nodes. When we say nodes, it may be a computer or any device that can be connected to the computer. We talk about the server, and there are two types of server, dedicated server and non-dedicated server. When we say dedicated server, a server which is not shared and used for one particular service only. For example, if I use one server for printing purpose only, it is a dedicated server for printing. And if I use one server for file sharing only, it is a dedicated server for file sharing. If I use a server for hosting a video only, so it is a dedicated server for a video, like that. That is dedicated. But when we say non-dedicated server, a server that can be used for several purposes. Multi-purpose servers are known as non-dedicated server, and single-purpose server are known as dedicated server. I hope it's clear. And here I repeat the difference between dedicated server and the dedicated server operates solely as a server on a network, while non-dedicated server can switch between a client as well as the server role. Okay, non-dedicated server can switch between a client and as well as a server role. So I think I don't need to explain what is a client and what is a server. So let us compare between client server and P2P quickly. So in client server, the server control the entire network, but in P2P there is no central control. And in terms of management, the server manages the entire network, but there is no computers, or there is no nodes that manage the network. In dependency, in client server, clients dependent on the server, and but in P2P, clients are not dependent on the server. All right. In terms of performance, the performance of a network depends on the server, and in P2P, the performance depends on all the computer connecting that P2P network. And in terms of backup, data is backup on the main server, but in terms of P2P, the data is not backup in one particular computer. All right, these are the difference between the different terms. Evolution I have already explained. Internet, I think I don't need to explain. Gateway we are going to study in details, and these are the examples. And Now, do you have any questions so far? It seems no questions. So let me quickly explain how the internet works. Okay, for example, if you are going to send a file to a person in the internet, its file is divided into a small fragments, which are known as packets. Right? Each packet is given a serial number or sequence number. It is known as sequence number in networking terms, and all the packets are sent to the destinations separately. Some packets may go together, but there is no rules that all the packets should go together. And when on the destination side, the receiving receiving package received the different all the packages and reassemble it, and then your file will be displayed for the person receiving it. Okay, in order to do this, we are usually using TCP, which is transmission control protocol. I think we are going to learn all these things in details, and also internet protocol, IP. All right, so what are the protocol? Protocol means the rules for communications. Okay, when I say rules, there are some common rules for communicating in the internet, or for the machine, not for the person. For the users, we have our own language. For example, Mizo people communicate in Mizo language even though on the internet. English people will communicate in English language. That's the rules. But the protocol which I'm talking here is the rule for the machine. How your mobile phone will communicate it with another mobile phone. That is the protocol. Okay. And TCP is responsible for dividing the file, which as we have learned in the previous, and reassemble. All right, this is the one rule. And another rule is IP, which is responsible for handling the address of the sender as well as the destination. All right, so when we say interspace, it is the future of internet, and it is a client server program which allows communication online in real time. I think we are currently on the interspace because we can communicate it in real time. All right, and this is regarded as the most advanced forms, interspace. I think the reality has come now. Any questions so far? Right